Becky Goblin here. Bringing to you a little presentation that I think that everyone will benefit from, and it will save you a lot of headache and worry down the road. You, you can hear on my radio there that EMS and all that going to emergencies. The emergencies around the house are quite frequent, especially when you have young kids running around, scraping their knees, cutting themselves on glass, what have you, as kids do. I've always, with my background in emergency medical services as an EMT, I found that it is best to be always prepared for little things like that. To basically have a first aid kit available, have it fully stocked, with everything that you can think of that you may need with basic first aid items. This is useful around the house. You can keep one in your vehicle, just for emergencies like that. But I have accumulated a lot of different items in my first aid boxes, I like to call it. You need to have them stored in a place that is easily to grab a hold of, and they should have just about everything you can think of, and they're very easily to obtain. You can get them at most of these items at dollar store, but most of the bigger items you may have to get them at Walmart, places like that. But what you want, and I'll show you mine real quick. This is my I've used just a regular large toolbox, and it's got chock full of everything that I may need. The top section opens up. That's why I like this part. It has a top section, and here I have just very little items, Neosporin. I have tweezers little tweezers. You can keep some matches in there. Some small band-aids here. This little thing, and of course I got some tape in here. That's for that section. And right here, we'll open this up. And I hope you see that? There is my other section that has various things. I have this liquid Band-Aid. You basically spray it on there on the cut. This is for small scrapes, small cuts, stuff like that. It gives them a temporary Band-Aid, and it's got some disinfection mixed in with it, which is good. I have a 2x2 pad, and I got Q-tips, I got cotton in here. I have some more tape, medical tape. I have some gauze. I've got alcohol prep pads. Here's some more Neosporin. Uh, in this section, I might have a couple of pieces, items of Band-Aids in this section. It's kind of laying around. There's another Band-Aid type item. It's basically to wrap with. It's basically tape, but you put your 4x4 or whatever on the cut, and you just go around it and tape it around, and it holds it in place. I even have my pulse oximeter in here. I found it the other day, by the way. I couldn't find it, and I found it. That's with that. I mean, you can address it and put different items as you see fit in yours. But there you go on that. I mean, everything is handy right where you can get to it. And I even got, just looking down in here, I even got some little, what I call butterfly bandages. And there's all kinds of little odd bandages that you may need for different types of emergencies. You know, little boo-boos. You know, you got kids around the house, and they're going to scrape and hurt themselves at some point. That's just the way it is. That's the way kids are. And let me get into the. Let me set this down right here, and we'll get into the big box part. And you see how I got it all. That's the big stuff right there. The big stuff. What I have here is some cling. It's you can basically, you know, if you got a cut or whatever, you can after you get controlling the bleeding, you can put it's self-adhering, and you go around the body part, whatever, and it holds everything there. Got that. I got my latex glove. I've got a whole box full of different Band-Aids right here in this, different sizes. And let's see what else I got. I got some more gauze. I need to organize this a little bit differently. I'm not liking what I'm seeing as far as organization goes. I'll have to do that, but that's your gauze wrapping. Here's some stop bleed. That's when you got a major cut or laceration that it you know, you might have clipped a vein or something like that, and it's going to bleed quite a bit, especially with people like me. I take a blood thinner, and you'll bleed a lot more than usual. But this is what this is for. You put it on the wound, and it helps clog it agent. And I've got my alcohol. I even got a thing of iodine. Iodine's good. Got some 4x4 gauze. 4x4 gauze. Like I say, I gotta reorganize some of this stuff. I'm not liking it. I've been neglecting to go through it, and I've used some things and different things. You know how it is at the spur of the moment. You don't tend to straighten everything up. You're in a hurry to get a Band-Aid for some reason. And just different gauze. I even got a mask in there. You know, you never know when you might need it. Let's see what else I got. I got some more different sizes of bandages in this box. What's that? That's just a COVID test. Here's some more tape. You're always needing tape. There's different types of bandages, you know, for different size wounds, what have you. This is just something from experience that I've picked up. I kind of know what to look for and what I need. Because when I used to be in EMS, I used to have my own bag. We all did. And we'd have it in the car, you know, in case we ran up on an accident or something, and we'd have everything. Then we needed it. Just comes with you know, experience, and there's these big wide pads, you know, bandages, band-aids, and things like that. They even got some non-stick pads. I think I got some, that's towelettes. I even got some anti-sting medication in here too. You know, if you get stung by, you know, especially when the kids, they get stung by a bee or something like that, you want something to kind of hold them over and ease the pain. We'll put all that back in there. Like I said, I got to organize everything better. But let me put this back in here. But yeah, you can get these toolboxes at Walmart, these big large ones. And this is the thing that I would recommend people getting. Those little toolboxes are great to throw in your car, put stuff in, throw in your car. But for around the house, you want something big like this. And there's always going to be something that you're going to think about. And, you know, that you might need for it. I'm trying to look at my notes there because I wrote some notes down so I could be more precise. What I was getting to on the box itself, the container, you want something that is really portable and easy to get to, and your entire family should know exactly where it's at. Not just you. Everybody should. All your family should know where it's at. What you do, you just think of things you're going to need. Now, I'm just talking about basic first aid. I'm not talking about the CPR and the choking and stuff like that. That's more advanced stuff that everyone should know about. CPR, you should go take your classes and learn the choking technique, the Heimlich. I don't have a BP cup in this box, but which I'm going to put one in it. What we're talking about is just basic, you know, cuts and scrapes, what to do if you get a really bad cut and it's bleeding really bad and you can't control it, because it will happen at some point. You're going to cut yourself. Back during the summer, I cut myself, and fortunately, I know what to do. You hold pressure on it, and I ran in the house to my first aid kit right here, and I got the things I needed. And you gotta get online, look it up, how to control bleeding, which is pretty simple. I could go into a demonstration and show it to you, but what I'm wanting to do here today is just to show you everything that I have in my first aid kit. Now, you want something, if it's a very bad wound that's bleeding a lot, you want what is called a trauma dressing. That is something that goes over the wound and allows you to help control bleeding. You put pressure on that and it may soak through. You're going to have another one handy to slap right on top of it and keep going and keep going. And all at the same time, you're either somebody's taking you to the ER with this person or whatever, or 911 should already been called. You don't want to, on a bleeding situation like that, you want to try to control that bleeding at all costs. The ABCs of first aid. Now this may be going into a little bit of the advanced, but I'll mention it anyway. Bleeding, airway, circulation. Of course, if someone's unconscious, and if they're breathing, and they're bleeding, the breathing's okay. You need to concentrate on the bleeding. That sort of thing. But I would advise everybody to go online and look it up, basic first aid and stuff. But I digress a little bit. But what I was wanting to emphasize is everything that you need in your kit, your first aid kit. This is your first aid kit. This is not your bug out bag. You may want to have a few items in that, but this is your main stuff. As you've seen, there's different dressings, pads you can use. There's 4x4 pads. There's, like I addressed, trauma dressing. Those are great big pads, which I don't know if Walmart sells anything like that. I'm sure they might. If not, you can go to your local drugstore. If you're in a situation to where you don't have a large trauma pad like that for a severe wound, this may sound silly, but you can use a female tampon over the wound, and it will act the same way. It's the same thing, the pad type. Little things like that. But you want to make sure you got everything in your kit that you may need on a daily basis. Just think about it. I built mine up over time. Like I said, there's a few couple of things that I may want to stick back in there. Bee sting relief. I thought I had them in this one, but I'll look at it at another time. I think I might have it. It's just a new look. Oh, I do. It's this right here. It's Sting Kill. This has got little tubes, and it has directions on the box, but I already know how to use these because we used to carry these quite a bit. And you got these little capsules. You take one off out of the foil, and you break it, and this stuff will go up into that, and you just rub it on the sting, or whatever, and it'll soothe it. It's that. You want something like that, just different things that you know you're going to need on a daily basis. Your small band-aids for your scrapes and your little bitty boo-boos, as I like to call them. And you want something to help control the bleeding. You want plenty of tape. Keep that on hand. Some gloves, latex gloves, because you don't want to be handling someone's wound there and you got dirty hand. Be a little bit, minded on that. I'm trying to think about anything else, but that's just the basics for right now. I hope this video is somewhat educational to you. I'm not going to go into the advanced part of first aid. That's, like suturing and all that. We're not worried about suturing, okay? That's something that can be done at the ER. What you're wanting to do is stop the bleeding, or what have you. If it's a bad wound, you want to stop that bleeding and get to the hospital. I think that's just about it. And like I said again, I hope that this video was informational to you, and I'll try to have some links in the description where you can go to get information, but I'm sure that you can do that on your own. It's best to do it on your own. Just Google basic first aid, bleeding control, what have you. You'll find the information you need. Buy you some books on it to have around. For those that don't know this sort of thing, it would be a good idea to buy you a book and keep it where your stuff's at. And it shows you everything you need to do about, and read it. Get familiar with your items. We all know what Band-Aids are, but this other stuff, you need to practice. If not, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea if you was to take a small course in first aid somewhere. Your local EMS should have some kind of classes. If not, the Red Cross does. Places like that. They get educated on it, because seconds count when you're dealing with an injury. Now, we're not talking about setting bones or anything like that. Of course, that could happen too. That may be another video that I may get into. I don't know. We'll just have to see what the legal repercussions would be on that. But anyway, I digress again. This is Kentucky Goblin. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the afternoon, and I hope this video again is educational to you. And do your own research, and you'll have a lot more better peace of mind. So with that, bid you adieu.